Hello and welcome back to another weekly map review where I, T-Mac, review all the new maps that came out this week. I'm going to quickly say that if you haven't already submitted a run, then you should probably get on that so you can be featured on the bhop Talkcast, so send those in. Rules and information are in the description. And if you need somewhere to run all the new maps all the time, then head over to Mythical Gaming. That's Mythical Gaming. Link in the description. And going into the actual maps now, the first map to come out this week was bhop_cc2, created by Creator E and portaged by Spaza Pizza, who clearly didn't realize that port was the word that he was looking for and not portage. Anyways, the map uses simple dev textures that are pretty average for the most part, and what the fuck is that? Well, I'm not sure if that was an issue with the portage or if it was with the map itself. Either way, pretty gross little eyesore that doesn't really take away too much from the experience of the overall map, though it's pretty funny when you notice it the first time. The map itself has elements of strafe maps and technical maps. So this one has a lot of fun and unique parts to it, like the rings that you're supposed to fall through that can also be bhopped on, which lowers the overall difficulty of the map, making it more accessible to newer players. But it still rewards players who can get through them without having to bhop on one of the rings, and the map does this by adding a slanted block, which can give you a massive speed boost, which can be used to save you quite a bit of time if you can hit the next part properly. That said, this map has a lot of other unique obstacles that kind of fall flat. For instance, the booster into the ring on stage 2 is a really cool idea, but oftentimes the booster doesn't give you enough height to make it into the top and in through the ring. So you'll probably have to drop back down and hit it again, and there are a couple of stages that just feel tacked on for no reason as well, like the pink triangle stage and the stage with the yellow blocks and the cloudy background. But the biggest issue that I have with this map is the overabundance of invisible walls. And on the dark stage, there are points where you're bhopping literally through basically an invisible wall tube, which is pretty cancerously bad. And then you drop down into a green and white part of the same stage, where there's another invisible wall to keep you from doing a massive skip. And once again, why couldn't the drop down have just been a visible wall or something? So that way it didn't fuck me when I'm trying to do something cool on my good run. But enough of that. On to the tellies, which are for the most part decent, but the one on stage 2 is confusing, at least the first time, since there's no indication of what to do. You just kind of see this giant white rectangle just standing there. At least once you go around, though, you'll keep all your speed, because all the tellies in this map, for the most part, aside from the first one, you'll keep all your speed pretty much no matter what. And the first one is hittable as long as you pull to the left a little bit. And that's something that is good. So even though this map has a lot of bad things going for it, there were still some very good aspects to it, especially in the earlier stages, which have some really good block layouts, and it allows for a lot of different routes. All in all, this map is decent, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6 out of 11. I'm not sure if the port is better or worse than the original version, but good job to both of you on making something that was fairly average. It took me about 2 minutes and 10 seconds to beat, though better is obviously possible. And with that said, we are on to map number 2. bhop_A was created by Codzilla and was likely inspired by Zyper's XYZ series. And I say that this map was likely inspired by Zyper's series not only because it's called bhop_A, a single letter, but also because it has a very similar color scheme to the bhop X and Y, in that it has a very dark black background with gray blocks. But unlike those ones, it has a sort of neon lighting to all the blocks that really pops out. And there are also rainbow pulsing boost pads, which complement the map's color scheme nicely. But enough about the pretty colors, let's get into the map layout. This is a strafe-oriented map with some really great block layout, a unique, fun progression from simple blocks to big staircasey steps, then up a booster tower, and then back into the standard blocks with a twist. There are all kinds of extra blocks that can be bhopped on, allowing bhopsters to be a little more creative when it comes to making a route. All in all, the flow of the map is really great, though I do have a couple of issues with the boost tower. The first of which being a nitpick that I don't really like how, in this particular instance, the boost pads are flat on the ground. It makes some very near misses that feel as though they should have landed. Again, though, it's just a nitpick, not a big deal. The other issue I have is that the hole at the top that you're supposed to boost out of, it's kind of like the hole on bhop autism, in that it can be hit, but it is difficult. And I don't think you can feasibly keep your speed through it unless you're going fairly slow, which isn't something that you really want to be doing on a strafe map. Thankfully, Godzilla made an alternate route for stronger bhoppers, so you can pull out the back and then go back around and keep the majority of your speed, which is amazing. Really great job on that, and honestly, that pretty much rounds out most of the map. After that, it's just the same sort of strafey stuff, and then you're at the end, and it took me about 50 seconds to beat, maybe 51 seconds, so make sure to check this one out because it is really good, really fun. Great job, Godzilla. I'm giving it a 10. That's the first 10 of 2017, so congratulations to you. And speaking of fun maps, bhop_franc is a map created by SayatBF. The color scheme on this map is fairly standard, if not a little bit bland. It kind of feels like the inside of an optometrist waiting area. But luckily this map is a lot more than the color scheme and textures tend to lead you on to believe. The styles of blocks used are very diverse and interesting. The block layouts are fantastic, allowing for tons of different routes and optimizations. The fact that you can surf the walls even at points where there's no obvious benefit to it is a really cool inclusion as well. There's also an intentional cool little skip at the end, and in all honesty, I couldn't really find much of a flaw with this map. It was excellently designed, and it was a lot of fun. If it had a bit more of an exciting or vibrant color scheme, or even if it was just a bit longer than only 23 seconds, then I could easily see myself giving this one a 10. But we don't live in that timeline, so this gets a 9 out of 11. Really good job to you, however you pronounce your name. It's hard to believe that this was the first map that you've uploaded to Game Banana. So, once again, great job. And, since we're on the topic of first maps, bhop_tuna_v2 is a map created by Suna is Dead, and this is a map that blends standard dev texture blocks with a really gross bluish-gray background. This is probably one of the ugliest maps I've seen in a while, but it also plays pretty poorly. Basically, you take 4 jumps in the beginning, then go up and around a tight little stairway, and then you're done. Took me less than 6 seconds to beat this one. Even for a first-time, really short map, this one is bad enough to be considered shit tier. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 out of 11. Rest in peace, Suna. Your map was shit, and hopefully your next one will be better. And that is all the time that we have for this week's episode. Make sure to give this video a big fat like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't already, then check me out on my gaming channel for updates and other shit. Or you could just follow me on Twitter for updates and other shit. Ha! You just heard that line twice, son of a bitch. Also donate to my PayPal to help fight the power. Oh, and don't forget to get those runs submitted if you want to be featured on the first ever bhop Talk. Also, if you're a mapper or a bunny hopper that is interested in being interviewed or has a topic burning bright in your heart that you think would be worth talking about, then let me know by sending an email to jacoby123abc@gmail.com or send me a Steam message or some other shit letting me know that you want to talk about something, and I just might have you as a guest on a future episode of bhop Talk. So, also, a special thank you to AKR Spicy for donating me $4.20 USD currency. That covers the cost of the rope that I'm going to use to hang myself. So, thanks a lot, dude. Couldn't have done it without you. So, I think that's everything that I want to talk about, so I'm just going to go ahead and end it now. Now for real.